friends. Thanks for joining me today for practice. Today's theme is Abhyasa Vairagya. Abhyasa Vairagya in the Yoga Sutras is the qualities of practice that are essential to both a genuine and effective practice. Abhyasa basically means effort, or we can think of it as doing. And then Vairagya is surrender of the results, or we could think of it as being. So essentially, Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras is outlining the way we should practice. And it's not an easy charge, right? It essentially says be passionate about how you practice and what you're doing while you're doing it. Be passionate about your effort in the moment, but be dispassionate about the outcome of those efforts. And that's hard to do when you invest in what you're doing. Of course you want it to turn out a certain way, but it's really wise advice, because what Patanjali is basically doing is helping us understand what the best use of our energy is. Because intellectually we know that the only thing we can control is the moment and our effort, what we do in any given moment. What happens after that, how it's received, the results of that effort, the outcomes, none of that is ever in our grasp. And I'm sure we can all recall multiple times in our lives when that's been the case. So rather than spin our wheels and waste our energy hoping for a specific outcome or desiring something, what we can do is just do the very best we can in the moment that we've got. And that's Abhyasa. That's the effort of your practice. The surrender is the harder work, but if we accept the premise, then we also understand that it's easy because our energy towards that doesn't work anyway. So on your mat, in your postures, put your best effort into any given posture, but forget about what you look like or what the outcome is. If you get your full posture today, or you're able to nail the handstand, that you might be working on, don't worry about that. Just be present in the practice that you've got. And honestly, I chose this theme and I choose it over and over again because I think there's no better piece of advice or gem from the yoga philosophy than this one in terms of navigating life. Right? This is a perfect example. Worry doesn't help. We don't have a lot of control over external circumstances. We can only control the work of the moment that we do. And so if we can understand Abhyasa Vairagya on our mats, certainly the hope is that we can translate that into the way we live our lives and put our energy towards things that really benefit from our energy. So that's what we'll be focusing on today as we move through our practice. I hope you enjoy it. And as usual, I'll be doing most of it with you, although I might stop from time to time or switch directions so you have a better view. So make sure if you can, you have, I have a couple props nearby, I have some blocks just in case. A strap is always nice as well. Feel free to press pause, go get what you need, and I will meet you on our mat. Okay. So we're going to start on hands and knees with your hands beneath your shoulders and your knees beneath your hips, and begin with a few cow-cats. So take an inhale and raise the tailbone, belly down, center of the heart lifts, look up. Exhale to reverse it, tucking under, rounding, and bringing your chin to your chest. Again, inhale fully and roll through to arch. Exhale as you round, navel to spine, long neck. Two more, deep breath in. Exhale fully. Last one, inhale. And exhale, round, tucking under. Good. And then coming back to a neutral spine, just take your shins and your feet, shift them to the left and look to them. And then do the same, pivot to the right and look to your right. And just do that a few times, rocking from side to side, working out your side body a little bit. And we're going to really pay attention today in practice to the lateral lines of the body, the outside of the body. So outer legs and hips, side body, etc. Good. Excellent. Come back through center. Very nice. And then we're going to just take that right leg, stretch it back behind you. Take your left shin, pivot it to the left, and drop your right heel to the mat. Good. Right arm comes up and overhead, lean out for this version of, it's like a modified side plank with the bottom knee on the floor. Stretch all the way through the right side. Good. Take another breath here. And then you're going to lower the right hand down and walk your torso to the right. So you're going to get the back view of me for a moment. But that right leg will be out to the side. You'll slide the right hand down the leg and arc over with your left arm. So this is Padikasana, gate posture. Good. Take a few breaths here. And again, specifically just really enjoy the opening of your side body. So don't worry about how far you go. That's the results. Enjoy the process of opening and breathing and the sensation that you're feeling. Release your right hand down, turn around so you're facing the front of your mat. Take your right knee beneath you, stretch your left leg back. And again, right shin shifts back, left heel comes down. Open into this version of modified side plank, extending through the left side. You can really feel if you root into the foot and reach through the fingers, how that really draws the energy through that lateral line of your body. One more breath. And then the left hand will come down and around to the left, and you'll pivot your right shin, I've got to shift up just a little bit, behind you, come and stand up, and then take your side lean, your gate pose. So you're opening the other side of the body here. If it's okay, turn your nose towards the ceiling. Right? Anytime you turn your head, always make sure that your neck doesn't feel strained, otherwise the head can stay neutral. But bicep and ear near each other, so the crown of my head and my fingers are moving in the same trajectory. One more breath in. Good, and then come out as you exhale. Bring the hands down, pivot your body around, back to hands and knees. Excellent. And then we're going to step back into plank pose. So if you keep your shoulders over your hands and just move your feet back, you should find the correct measurement here. And we're going to take a few deep breaths. Just build a little heat. Tailbone to heels, navel up, armpits up, shoulder blades on your back, long neck. A lot of stuff going on. Take one more breath. There's a lot of Abhyasa, a lot of effort here. Keep the feet in their position. Shift to the right so your feet are staggered. Bring your left arm up and extend the arm alongside your ear. Staggered side plank. Breathing through for 2 or 3 breaths. I love this version because you don't have to worry about balance right now as much. And then as we come through, it's a plank. Same thing on the other side. Stagger your feet, staggered side plank, reach. Good. Come back to your plank pose. Reset. Deep breath in. We're going to the ground. Exhale, chaturanga to the floor. Untuck the toes, and as we inhale, come up to a medium or a low-size cobra. It doesn't have to be high here. And you're going to roll your left shoulder down, right back, look back. And then do the same. Roll the shoulders, look back. Do it again. And one more time. Nice. And then from your plank, curl your toes. You can press up to plank pose, find it again, and then move to down dog. And then set yourself up in downward facing dog for a few breaths. You can bend your knees or straighten your legs. Instead of thinking today about the back of your body, can you think about the lateral lines of your body? So pinky to outer armpit, outer hip, down the length of the leg towards the outer ankles. And then draw those same long lines through the interior part of your body. Good. We're going to shift the heels to the right, toes to the left, stretch the left side, and then pivot and stretch the right side. And do that 2 more times. come back to down dog. Good, breathe in deeply, look forward and exhale. Move yourself forward to the front of the mat. Coming into ragdoll here, you know. I love my ragdolls. Grab your opposite elbow, bend your knees, let your head hang. So you can even think about Abhyasa Vairagya in terms of postures. For this instance, the lower body is creating all the effort, right? Your effort is best spent in your legs here, really hugging the floor, balancing the weight between the balls of the feet and the heels, sort of keeping the legs sturdy so there is an adequate amount of surrender in your upper body. So again, learning how to meter out your energy even within a posture is really useful. Okay, so from your ragdoll, let's roll up to stand, nice and easy. And we're going to come into blown palms. So in this case, you'll bring your left arm up. I'm going to turn a little bit here. I'm going to give you this view. And then lean over for just an easy side lean here. So outer hip can draw in, this is the inner hip. Inner hip can draw in, outer hip sort of presses out a little bit. That's what I want to say. Right? Vairagya, surrender. Sometimes words don't come out right. Take one more breath in, and then lift back up and go ahead and do the other side. So the right arm rises up, and you lean over to the left side, and you take a few breaths there. Again, maybe just paying attention to this part of your body that you don't normally think about in yoga postures. We think a lot about the back bends and the forward bends, but sometimes this outer line is, I think it's magical personally. Come back through center, and then bring the palms of your hands to your heart. Inhale, raise the arms. And exhale, go ahead and forward fold, allowing your head to release. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and as you exhale, go ahead and step or lightly hop back to plank and lower through chaturanga. Inhale, you can do cobra, you can do up dog. Exhale, move back, downward facing dog. As you inhale, raise your right leg up, turn the hip open, and then slowly exhale, bring your knee in, step your right foot, then your left foot forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine, Ardha Uttanasana, and exhale, fold. Rise up as you inhale, and right back down, exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and as you exhale, once again, plank pose, through chaturanga. Inhale, come to up dog. Exhale, come back, downward facing dog. Left leg rises as you inhale. Exhale, slowly bring the knee in and step the foot forward, then the right foot as well. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Big inhale, come all the way up. And this time, exhale, just bring the palms of your hands to your heart. Take about 3 breaths and feel the results of your actions. Not make the results happen, just feel what happens after you've done what you've done. Sometimes the results we get are better than we expected. So it's always nice just to reflect, okay? One straight A back, take an inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Move your way back on your exhale. A hop if you like. Breathing to move all the way back. Exhale. Down dog. Okay. We'll bring the right leg up as you inhale. And with your exhale, go ahead and bring your knee in, but then ground your left heel as you shoot your right leg out and extend the left arm alongside your ear, full in triangle. You could also think of this as a version of side plank if you like. Deep breath in. And then we'll simply bring the left hand down, pivot your back heel, and pull your right knee to your nose. Good. Step the right foot forward, ground the left heel, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Right, and sometimes even our best efforts don't work and we have to adjust our stance, back arch to front heel. So take a look and see where you landed. Good. Maybe soften the tops of your shoulders away from your ears. Extend out through the arms. And breathe. And we'll come into reverse warrior. Left hand to the back leg, right arm alongside the ear. Connect those two. So again, your head is not dropping or, sort of hanging, but you're really lengthening. Breathe. Nice. Coming back up to your warrior two. And we're going to bring the hands to the floor. Pick your back heel up and maybe move it to the center a little bit. All that's going to move is your front foot over to the left side of your mat. Now, my right hand stays where it was before. You can use a block. So there's about, a max width between your front foot and your right hand, okay? You can come on fingertips or you can use that block. Turn your left heel down. Bend your front knee. Send your pelvis forward. Extend the left arm alongside your ear. Breathe here for 3. Hold here for 2. One more breath in, and then exhale. The left hand will come down, and you'll adjust to step back to plank pose. Good. Big breath in. Moving through your vinyasa. And exhale it all the way back. Nice. Go ahead and pick your left leg up. Really stretch through those toes. Turn the hip open. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring your knee towards your nose. Ground your back heel and shoot your left leg out to the right side. Extending your right arm up. And then, of course, bringing your left arm alongside, or right arm alongside your ear. Right? Is that right? Yes. So you're in your fallen triangle. And the right arm is reaching. And you're creating a connection. They don't have to touch, but a relationship between ear and bicep so that the head is not dropping, but it's lifted. The crown of the head is reaching. Good. You're going to bring your left knee to your nose as you come out of it. And then go ahead and step your left foot forward, ground your right heel down, and we're going to come up to Vairagya 2 for a couple of breaths. And I'm sure you look fantastic. So take a few more breaths. And just get into the strong strength of your legs. So where is your effort best placed? And what can you surrender? What's worth your energy and what's sort of a waste of your energy? Drop the right arm down the back leg. Sweep the left arm alongside the ear. And come into your reverse warrior. Reaching through. You can even think, if you like, about how the breath is representative of those qualities of practice as well. The inhale is like Abhyasa, there's an effort. The exhale is like Vairagya, there's a surrender, right? So there's sort of all these places we can find that dynamic, okay? You're going to bring your hands down, lift your back heel, maybe center your right heel a little more, and walk only your left foot over to the right side of your mat. Now you have a better view. You see where my left hand is. It's basically where it was before. You can use a block if you like. Put your back heel down, reach your right arm alongside your ear, and press through your pelvis. Keep pressing your right thigh back. One more breath. And then slowly come out and reset for plank pose. Go ahead and move through your vinyasa to down dog, and I'll meet you there. Okay. So go ahead and work the thighs back, the heels back, the chest back, almost like you're pulling back on a rubber band. And then as you look forward and bend the knees, you're going to spring that rubber band forward. Exhale, jump up. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up as you inhale. And then hands to the heart, exhale. Good. Feet about inner hips width. I'm going to just turn forward again just for a better view if you're looking. We're going to come back into the blown palm with the left arm alongside the ear, right arm works down the leg, and then let's bring the right arm up to hold hands with the left, okay? And now, as you shift a little into that left leg, see if you can just let your right foot lift. So it's really not touching the floor, but you're still side leaning. And now you're balancing. One more breath. And then we'll just step down and go ahead and do the other side. Right? One more breath. And then rise back up through center as you inhale. Exhale, go ahead and fold through. Inhale, lengthening your spine. Hands to the ground as you exhale back. And lower through chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. And exhale back to down dog. So this time we're going to bring the right leg up. Go ahead and bend the knee slightly towards your chest. You can lift your left heel and cross your right ankle to your left thigh, like a figure 4 in down dog. Now press back and walk the hands back once, and maybe again, and sort of just find a good comfortable place where your right thigh and ribs are sort of close to each other. Then bend your standing leg and press back. One more. Good. We're going to walk this back out to what looks like more of a down dog. Keep your ankle on your knee. And we'll roll to the pinky toe side of the left foot. Now your choice. This right foot can stay in the air, or if you want, as you turn, I think you can see it, you'll kickstand your big toe. That depends on what you want to do. Right arm up and press through for one more breath. And then take the right hand down, step your right foot forward, ground your left heel, Vairagya Balancing 2. Settle and breathe. So sometimes the best moments come when you try something and you sort of fail a little bit. You fall. I've fallen more times than I care to admit. That's Vairagya. That's like surrender the results. If you don't try, you don't know. And if you give it your best effort, that's all you can ask for, right? Okay. Now we're going to shift the torso forward. Right fingertips to the little toe side of the foot. You can use a block at any height if you need it. And left arm alongside the ear. So we sort of just did this pose, but now your front heel, your back arch are lined up. And we're breathing for one more. Taking the right hand down, lifting and dropping your back knee to the floor. Right leg will straighten for Ardha Hanuman. Now, the tricky Ardha Hanuman today is to keep your toes flexed towards the ceiling. Keep your knee facing the ceiling, so nothing about your lower body changes, but we're going to walk the torso to the right. So you're going to get my back for a minute, and the hands are going to sort of come around, right, to the long edge of your mat, trying to keep your foot flexed. Right, so you get a really nice stretch in the lateral side of your right leg. Let's take one more breath. And now if you can, pivot your left shin behind, bend your right knee, and come and sit down. Again, you're getting my back, but just for a moment, right knee on top of left. So you would look like this if I had two cameras. There we go. So you're basically in lower body Gomukhasana, okay? Good. So with your right knee on top, you're going to take your right hand out to the side, your left arm alongside your ear, and lean over for a side lean. And again, targeting this whole area, side leaning, but also into the hip flexor, which is pinned down by the top leg. See where you want to go with this. Maybe the elbow comes to the floor or a block as you reach through. One more. Nice. And then press yourself back up. So you're going to take your right hand to your right foot and your left hand to your left foot. And see if you can just bring your feet to touch. Right? Oops. Trying to just let your feet come down like that. Stay on the tips of your sit bones. lift the chest and begin to stretch the legs out. Now you might come to here, This is Abhyasa Vairagya. Do your best. Don't worry about where you land. You'll see where you can go. Take 2 or 3 breaths like this. Right? And then as you release it, let the knees bend. You're just going to turn your body to the front of your mat, step back into plank pose, and move through your vinyasa. Good, and we'll do the other side. Left leg lifts on your inhale. Now you're shifting forward a little, bringing your knee in on your exhale, off of your right heel, left ankle to right thigh, push back. Okay? And then a couple of walks back in, and that obviously is going to be determined by your own flexibility here. Try to find a little bit more connection between ribs and left thigh, and then bend your standing leg. Your heel can be off the floor if you want. And just get a good stretch into that left hip. Good, and then we'll walk it back out. Keep your ankle on your knee, and then we'll come onto the pinky toe side of the right foot and bring that left arm up for this version of side plank. You might even extend the arm alongside your ear. I'm not sure if we did that on the other side, but that would make sense. One more breath, and then gently around. Left foot steps up, right heel drops down. Lift on your inhale to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. And when you find yourself in more familiar postures, there's this sense that we have more control. Maybe the outcomes are not so iffy, right? We've done it enough that we have enough experience that we feel competent. And so that Abhyasa Vairagya is not so stark. So that's good, right? There's a lot of unpredictability in yoga as in life, but it's not 100% that way. Some things we can rely on, and that's comforting. Okay, extended side angle, shifting your torso towards the left leg. So I can come this way. Yeah. Take your left fingertips to the floor, bring your right arm alongside your ear, stretch through, turn the heart up, create a dialogue between your ear and your biceps, so there's some relationship there. They're not sort of, hanging out. There's real symmetry there. One more breath. Good. And then you're going to let your hand come to the ground. Turn around the other way once again. And drop your right knee to the floor. Shift your hip back, straighten through your left leg. Okay? And so the work we do to start with is just to make sure this left leg is essentially neutrally rotated, that the toes and the kneecap are facing up, that the right and left hip are relatively squared off and even. Again, it's all relative. And then everything in the lower body stays the way it is, and we turn our torso towards the long edge of our mat, left side. And it's really important that you keep the activity of the long leg. So if you just let the leg relax, you lose a little of what's going to happen here. Take one more breath. Good. And then you're just going to turn your back shin, have to slide in a little, bend that top knee, and see if you can come and sit down. I'll switch for the accurate view for Gomukhasana here, lower body. So get as close to stacking your knees as possible. You always have the option to sit up on something if you have a couch pillow nearby, or you have a blanket, or a block is useful as well. Left fingertips come out to the side, right arm alongside your ear. Go ahead and lean out for your side lean. Good. Take another breath here. Deep breath in and out. And then just help yourself press up. And this time, left hand to left foot, right hand to right foot. Set yourself up. See if you can even just balance on your sit bones. Okay? And then go ahead and bring your legs out a little wider and see where you can go. So I always imagine I'm like a piece of paper folding in half. The legs draw back and the chest pulls forward, and you wind up, hopefully, just right. Obviously, you can fall backwards, you can fall forwards, so maybe use a wall if you've got one behind you, really to feel how you lift. Take one more breath, and then bend the knees, cross the feet, pivot. I'll meet you in down dog. You can certainly, get there any way you want. Take about 3 deep breaths in your downward facing dog, and just can you feel those outer lines of the body? And then once you feel the length of pinkies to outer armpits, outer hips to outer ankles, can you draw or feel symmetrical lines on the inner legs and the inner arms? Breathe in, look forward. Bend your knees, exhale, jump up. You can always step. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Big breath in, come all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Good. So this time, we're going to do a standing figure 4. Balancing on the right leg first, crossing your left ankle to your right knee, and coming down to sit. And that's sort of all relative, right? You want to bring your palms to prayer pose, or rest your elbows on your knee and inner arch, or reach your arms forward. Everybody has their favorite way of doing this. But just give that outer left hip a nice stretch. We'll take one more breath. And then I'm going to say take your right arm around your right foot, left arm under left shin. See if you can come up to stand, pulling that shin up with you, like you're serving it forward like a platter of food or drinks, whatever your preference is. Let's go with drinks. Yeah. Here you go. Would you like a cocktail? Okay. Knee to chest. Step down, and we'll do the other side. Standing on the left leg, right ankle to knee. Go ahead and sit down and find your, whatever pressure works for the outside of your right hip. One more breath, and then we'll slide the right arm under the shin, left hand around the foot, lift your platter of cocktails or food, or anything else you would like to offer to the imaginary person in front of you. Take one more breath in. Okay. Hug your knee to your chest, step your foot down, palms of the hands to the heart. Inhale, go ahead and raise the arms. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. And then exhale, once again, you're going to step or you're going to jump back, and I'll meet you in downward facing dog. Take a few breaths there and just stay with that rhythm of breathing. Okay. Right leg is going to lift up on your inhale. Nice and easy exhale, bring the knee in, step your right foot forward, ground your left heel. Vairagya Balancing 2, once again, coming up. Take a few breaths. Good. Straighten the right leg as you inhale. Shift the hips back, and as you exhale, start lengthening your torso out. Bringing the right hand, could be the shin, could be a block or the floor. And we're going to bring the left arm alongside the ear today. Now you can stay here for the time that we're here and really work the length of your left side, or you can extend the right arm forward as well. Make it more core. And then the right hand will come down and the left hand will come onto the hip. Good. Now you can slide your right foot in a little bit. Reach your right hand forward. Use a block if you need it. Pinky toe side of your right foot, and then slowly shift into your right foot and your right hand. Oops, let me back up a little bit for Ardha Chandrasana. And of course now we're going to bring that left arm not up top, but all the way alongside our ear, so that you've got more awareness of the left side of your body. Take one more breath here, and then bring the left hand down. Turn your hip, step back with your left leg and drop your knee to the floor. All right? Right leg will once again straighten for Ardha Hanuman. Second fun variation of this pose, which I've done in previous videos, but I do love it, is to keep your toes turned. And like you're opening up a jar, you're turning your right leg in your hip socket to the right. Therefore, your toes will turn out right, and you'll get that same sort of lateral stretch in the right side. And you'll fold. And I personally feel this all the way up to my right hip. It's very important that you keep your foot flexed as you do this so the toes don't relax. And you certainly can just stay up as well because it can be a little more intense in the back of your leg. Take one more breath here. Right, Abhyasa Vairagya, doesn't matter how far down you go, do your best. And then the right toes will turn up, come higher on your fingertips, bending your right knee, drag your heel towards your left knee, but not too close, and then slide your left knee forward, and we're sitting down once again into Gomukhasana legs. So right knee is stacked over left. See how you feel at this point. If you're good where you are, you can stay sitting up. Otherwise, we're going to lean forward and find some place to rest here. If you have a block nearby and you'd like to put your head on it, totally up to you. For about 3 or 4 breaths that we're here, as you inhale, can you think about doing and effort? And as you exhale, can you think about being or surrender? And just see how those are really 2 sides of the same coin. Those are 2 sides of one breath. Right? Both of those energies are present in each encounter we have, each moment. So learning how to do is important, and we really stress that in this society, but learning how to let go is also equally as important. Take one more breath. Good, and we're going to sort of unwind the same way we wound up last time. So right hand to right foot, left hand to left foot. Let's see if we can come into that Urdhva Upavishta Konasana. Right. And so maybe with the side view, you have a little better sense that I'm pulling my chest and my legs back at the same time, trying to find a nice long line. Take one more breath here. And then maybe you just want to play, best effort, no results, is just to tip back enough and see if you can bring your legs together. And then see where that goes. Maybe you want to bring the legs up higher and make it more of a forward fold. And maybe you've already fallen backwards, and who cares? Cross your ankles, down dog, I'll meet you there. Excellent. Go ahead and lift your left leg up on your inhale, and exhale, slowly step your left foot forward. You're going to drop your back heel. We'll come up to Virabhadrasana 2. Just a couple of breaths here. This is, I don't know, kind of like home base right now. It's a chance to settle and let your breath settle. There's nothing too hard. You have to think about it, anything here. You know this posture. Good. And then let your left leg straighten as you inhale. Hips are going to shift back. Torso is going to shift out. Exhale into Trikonasana, triangle pose. But today, bring your top arm alongside your ear. And if you're feeling feisty, you can bring your bottom arm up as well to be about parallel to the top arm. 2-3 breaths like that. Good. And then you'll move into your, I'll call it extended Ardha Chandrasana, right? Ardha Chandrasana with the right arm alongside your ear so that you get this nice long line through your right side, and it feels a little different. One more breath here. And then slowly let the right hand come down. Bend your left knee, step back with your right leg, drop that knee. Right, we'll straighten the left leg forward. Hips are going to shift back, so you've got the same right hip over knee. And then you're sort of turning the entire leg in the hip socket. So it doesn't come from the foot, it actually comes from the top of the hip as it turns. FYI, the foot is connected, so it's going to turn as well. And you're folding, or not, maybe you're upright. And you'll take one more breath here. Good. Turning your toes forward, and then just pulling your heel slightly back towards the right knee, sliding the right knee forward, and finding Gomukhasana legs. Left knee is over right. Right? At this point, you have options to stay up, to fold down, or to sort of find a nice, deep place for yourself. And the yoga philosophy was so wise, so many thousands of years ago, to identify the perils and the pitfalls of being human, right? And understanding how we think and operate, and encouraging us to find the balance in all those things that could bring us suffering if we don't, right? That desire to control too much will only bring suffering, because there's no direct line from our effort to the results. There's no guarantee. So we're better off to learn the skill of surrender and be happily surprised when things turn out the way we prefer, and prepared if they don't. Okay. So from your fold, come back up one more, or Utpavishta Konasana. Take your left hand to left foot, right hand to right foot. Balance. Find your proud. I've heard this posture called bear, and I didn't understand it until I actually saw a picture of polar bears that sat like this. So yeah, one more breath here, and then maybe you want to sit back and see if you can pull the legs together, and maybe come in a little further. Maybe you just want to look up and do something scary or calamitous. One more breath in, and then exhale, release. Move to down dog. Okay. Breathe in, lift your right leg. Exhale, bring your knee in, step your foot forward, drop your back knee to the floor. This is my favorite entry point into pigeon pose. You can try it my way, adjust if it doesn't work for you. You're literally walking your right foot directly across the mat to the left side. I like to hold my foot so it doesn't go anywhere, and then drop the shin down. See if I can get close to parallel to the front edge of the mat, and that obviously is going to be determined by your own flexibility. So if my hip is really rolled open, this is not the right measurement for you to pull the foot in. But if you can keep the foot up there and roll the hip down, so see where it is. Abhyasa Vairagya, do your best. You can come down and either bring your elbows to the floor or blocks. Again, use your props if you have them nearby to support your head. We'll hold for a few breaths. It's always my preference to hold postures like pigeon a little bit longer, just because there's so much tied up in the hips, and even the work we just did, right? Everything we do requires these, abductor muscles and the glutes to really be constantly contracting and engaged. But so does walking and sitting and running and basically everything. So when you get a chance to sit into your hips, do it. Feel free to press pause. Stay there as long as you like. We'll take about 5 more breaths here, just to be reasonable. And go down where you're comfortable. And then go ahead and come up. And I'm going to sit over to my right hip at this point and gently bring my left leg around. Right? I think I'll turn forward to give you a front view. So the right shin is still relatively parallel, or if it's not, work it in that direction. Let's step the left foot just in front of the ankle so we've got the ability to sit evenly on both sit bones. And again, you can sit on something if you need to. And then sort of like you scooped your shin up when you were standing, lift it and draw that foot over towards the right knee. Now, I never have an easy time with this. There's always a little space between my knee and my foot. Some people have way more space. So a lot of things you can do, sit on something. If this is sort of floating and uncomfortable, you can rest it on a block. For me, it's not uncomfortable. I just don't go anywhere after this. One of the little tricks I learned, which I really like, is taking a block in front of your knee and maybe moving your foot forward onto the block so it's a little less intense. All right. Pad up any way you need to. This is Agni Stambhasana, sometimes called double pigeon pose. You can stay upright. You can lean forward. And as I lean forward, then, because of the movement of my hips, my knee starts to go a little closer. So, whatever works for you. We'll take a few breaths like this. And I will say, we're getting to our spinal twist. We haven't gotten there yet, but if you're open in this pose, a really nice variation is to add a twist to this. So you take your left, either forearm to the arch of the foot to take your twist, or if you're really feeling open, elbow to arch. And I'm going to push my foot into my elbow, palms together, and then lay back and rotate. So if you feel like you're jonesing for a twist at this point, go ahead and make that happen, and we'll take 2 more breaths. And then you can unwind nice and easy. Help your legs unwind. One more move back to down dog. If you would prefer to skip a vinyasa at this point, please feel free. Just go right to down dog if that's better for you. We'll take a couple of breaths when we get there. And then left leg rises as you inhale. You'll exhale to step the foot forward and drop your back knee. And remember, this is my way to get into it. You can adjust and do it your way. Left foot to the right side. Hold your foot and see if you can bring your shin across. Okay? And then again, if I'm really rolled open, this isn't the right measurement, but if you can square forward and try to get your hips to face down, that could work. And then you can fold down or stay up, or you can use blocks underneath your forearms. Take a few breaths. Where is the effort best spent here? Maybe not trying to jam your body into a specific shape, but finding the right shape for you, and then perhaps softening your right hip down. Maybe make that the focal point and let any tension or effort in the upper body release. Surrender something to the posture. And we'll take about 5 breaths. You're going to come up to sit. You're going to maybe pull that foot in a little closer so it's not hard to sit on the left hip and bring the right leg around. I'm going to turn around just for, again, a better view. And then you're going to step your right foot in front of your left ankle just to, get your seat grounded and see where you want to be. Let the leg fall out to the side. Scoop the shin up and place your right foot over your left knee. You might even take your right hand on your right thigh, middle of the thigh, don't go up near your knee, and just slightly press down and out on the thigh, almost like you're rolling the flesh out. If you're doing it yourself, you have a lot more control over the pressure, right, which you always want to be really careful of. And then fold if you like, or add the twist if you like. The twist would be right forearm or elbow to arch, palms together, press back and rotate. Nice, take 2 more breaths. And then you always want to be respectful as you come out of your posture, so come out slowly, help take your right leg off your left leg, and stretch the legs forward. Both of them forward. Neutrally rotated, knees and toes are facing up. You're sitting on something. If you're very sort of restricted in your low back hamstrings and you feel like sitting up basically looks like this, you can bend your knees and come up, or you can sit on something. And raise the arms as you inhale. And on your exhale, pour forward. Come into your forward fold. And we'll take a few breaths here. So it's equally as important that as a yogi, as a practitioner, you understand where you need to apply effort and where you need to back off and get softer and allow or be or exist in the posture a little bit more with less of a heavy hand. Come up to sit, let your legs open wide. We did this posture a couple times balancing, but now we're just gonna sit down. And because this is more of a lateral lying class, I'm going to ask you to come into a side lean. Feel free to slide your left forearm onto the shin and hold the top of your foot, rotating the chest and reaching out through the right side, or you can go deeper. You can take the arm down to the inside of the leg, slide it out, and maybe by reaching you'll find your foot. Who cares, right? Abhyasa Vairagya. Do the best. Surrender the results. Nice. Gently come back up. You can just wait for one moment and just find that nice release of everything, and then come onto the right side, sliding the right arm down the leg and left arm alongside your ear, and we'll find a few breaths there as well. And take one more breath here. And then come down through the middle and back up to sit and wait for a moment. Sit back, draw the legs together, and we'll slowly roll down to your back. So take your time as you do that, extending your arms forward and slowly rolling down one vertebra at a time. We'll meet on the floor because we have a twist to do here, finally. When you get onto your back, just pause there. Good. Then you can bring your feet in just a little closer and lengthen your low back. I'm going to have you shift your hips over to the right side of your mat, and because we did hips today, try wrapping your right knee over your left, like eagle legs. Knees up towards your chest, and then the knees will come over to the left side and you'll come into your twist. If that's not comfortable, just stack your knees or choose your favorite version of this twist. Good. One more deep breath in. Gently as you exhale, roll fully to your left side and let the legs unwind. And onto your back to do the other side, moving the hips to the left. Left knee wraps right, knees up, and over to the right. Couple deep breaths. At this point in our practice, when we get to the floor, that idea of surrender seems so much easier too. Right? We have actually something to give our weight into. So we get that physical feeling of letting go, right? That ultimately is way easier than the emotional letting go. So it's good practice. Come to your right side, unwind the knees, roll to your back, and we're going to come to constructive rest, feet wide, knees together. Spread your arms out wide in a T and stay here for a few breaths. And with your arms wide, I really want you to just experience and feel space. And the outline, perhaps, of your upper body, right? So the side body, under the arms. If your arms are okay where they are, just leave them there. Let your legs begin to slide forward so they too are wide. Maybe as wide as your mat. Position the arms so that there's no tension in the shoulders. So maybe let the arms lower a little bit, but keep them wide as well, and close your eyes. And just imagine for a moment that you could see the outline of your body on the mat. You can feel peripherally where your body is in space. And with that experience, you can imagine your own internal energy expanding into that periphery, and then eventually beyond it, so that you feel spacious. And into that space, let go. Shavasana is the posture of surrender. That's what it is. That's what it's for. It is an excellent place to release the habitual places of holding that we maybe don't even know we have until we're in this pose. And it teaches us how to let go in small and subtle ways, not just the big ways, but the small ways as well. And in this place, the whole practice is released. So we take our best effort, we do the practice, and in this posture, we let it go. Notice if there's any residual clinging that you notice, and try to let that go too. And please feel free to stay here as long as you like. Otherwise, help yourself slowly up to sit. Close your eyes and bring the palms of your hands together at your heart in Anjali Mudra. Close your eyes. And allowing your practice to close, may the space between where you are and where you want to be inspire you. Namaste.